The NSA is building right now I believe it costs $1.7 billion facility in Bluffdale, Utah, which is 25 miles away from Salt Lake City. That's going to it's going to house a 100,000 square foot data center where they're going to be monitoring us. There it is. It looks very much like a moon base or something from Star Wars. Those, what you're seeing right there, are just the cooling things to keep the computers cool because they are sucking that much data, and data is hot, I guess. And do you mind that your tax money is going to this type of thing to report and record and watch you at all times?
Well, I'm kind of glad they put it in Utah to really monitor our natural resources like Mormons and saltwater. So that's really good that they did it there.
Yeah.
But I don't mind. Even when the Bush administration was sort of watching us, I think, going back to the Fox News thing, I think the people who are being monitored aren't Fox News watchers. They're people who are calling internationally. I know it's not ideal, but I feel like if they can stop another attack, I think, to me, I feel a little safer.
Interesting, but even though that now they're saying that it's not just international calls, now that they have the metadata for all of us, and then keywords and all that, so that doesn't bother you?
Well, I know I'm really interesting, so I'm just glad I can provide.
To listen to you.
Yeah,
Want the audience.
I'm like, is anyone else on this phone call? I need someone else to be listening, please.
It's like the ultimate meaty performer. Like, is anyone getting these jokes?
He's like bomb, assassination, just saying any word he can in any conversation just to make sure the NSA
like, I need
listening.
another TV credit. I want to be taken into some jail, taken into Guantanamo.
Yes, now I sense slight sarcasm there, but Jen, I mean, what do you think? Like, we're building giant facilities, there's no oversight, the government's just pouring money into all this stuff.
It terrifies. First of all, I'm like, it's one of those things like we've arrived in the future and it's freaking scary. Like, you know, it's kind of terrifying even to look at the facility, to look at what you're saying, like the cooling stuff, just for all that data that they're processing, the fact that they need an entire section just to cool down how much stuff of ours that they're going through is really terrifying. And I understand that people are saying, well, what if it saves lives? What if it prevents another 9/11? But it terrifies me that it's kind of the wild, wild west on this. They haven't really said, this is how we're going to do it. This is the only people we're going to listen to. I mean, then you can't profile people. It's too confusing. So I just don't understand how you can have the right to just say, hey, we're the government elected by you, but now we're going to spy on you, even though most people, if you ask them, and I think your opinion's interesting, because, you know, some people are like, if it keeps us safer, that's fine. Most people are like, hell no, I don't want you spying on me. And I don't believe in that, well, if you're doing nothing wrong, then it shouldn't matter, because so what? Like, why should they have access to everything you do on the internet and your phone just because they're the government? That's fucking scary.
I actually think that's the weakest argument against it, because look, and you could be doing nothing wrong and just sending emails, work emails where you say something mean about someone you work with, which is perfectly legal, or you could be watching porn that's perfectly legal, but you don't want the government to be like, oh, well, we now know this about you and we're going to tell all your friends how much porn you watch.
Well, they could use it against you in other arenas. It's kind of just like how basic traffic stops work, how just like in basic just law enforcement, cops will, you know, if they decide they want to pull somebody over, they'll look for the slightest little thing in order to get in to try to get somebody for something else. And they're saying, well, that person was doing something wrong, like a taillight is out, or they weaved once, so maybe they can be pulled over on suspicion of drunk driving. But if the person's sober, they're still kind of being harassed because they wanted to racially profile, or they wanted to, for some reason, pull a person over, so they're looking for the smallest thing. I feel like that's the slippery slope that happens when they start listening to your conversations and monitoring your emails.
Yeah, isn't the other problem, though, that, you know, Obama keeps saying, well, you know, or everyone keeps saying that this isn't all getting up to Obama. It's dealt with in mid-level whatever. So, but isn't that where all the abuse is going to take place? Like the Cincinnati IRS guys, you know, like I don't believe Obama was, you know, at the lunch table in the Cincinnati IRS office going, let's do this. But like it never gets up to the highest.
Well, now you could target people.
Yeah.
You could target people. You can be like, okay, well, my sister's having a problem with her, you know, ex-husband. So let's target him and look for some keywords and haul him in. Like, it's just, I want to know who's overseeing it and what control they have and what power they have, because you can start hauling people in for all sorts of reasons for saying things just based on this, you know, there's like Patriot Act on wild, basically.
Right. So as the guy that wants safety, since you want safety more than privacy, do you think that we can trust the gatekeepers.
Well,
Who are the gatekeepers? That's the problem.
Think about how much data they're collecting, and then how many analysts are going to go look for minutia that has nothing. Like, you're not going to find if Steve, my brother-in-law, is cheating on my sister. I can't call it, hey, Michael at the NSA, can you just do a quick favor for me? Can you see if Steve is cheating on my sister?
What if you work at the NSA and you decide to abuse that power or use it to get people in trouble for other things? Like, I didn't mean it like, oh, I'm pissed off at somebody, so I'm going to call my hookup at the NSA and be like, get on them, start monitoring them. But if you work there, kind of like you're talking about Cincinnati, you can start to abuse things if you're mid-level. It's like, obviously, if you're so high profile, you can't really abuse or else it's obvious. But if you're just working there, you can kind of monitor whoever you want.
So, for example, this guy, Edward Snowden, who released all these documents to The Guardian, he's a mid-level contractor. This guy doesn't even have the highest levels of access, and he still was able to release all this. Doesn't that thing look
like the Death Star.
It looks like something out of a sci-fi movie where either Neo or Tom Cruise or Will Smith would have to go in and destroy that thing.
I think it's actually where they filmed Austin Powers. I think that's where they did.
No, it really does look like the enemy. It does, exactly what you're saying, though. It does. It's like so postmodern now that we have exactly the thing that in every movie we've been told is the evil empire that they have to go break into to protect us all from the government that's all watching
like
you.
Wait, one more time with the air conditioning thing. I'm picturing like Luke Skywalker flying in on an X-wing and he has to shoot right into a little hole to blow up the.
Well, I thought of a really good solution. I think what the NSA has to do is remove all the people that work there who wear eye patches. Because they're the ones that are going to cause the trouble.
The eye patch guy. Because generally they're untrustworthy, the eye patch people.
I'm solving America's problems here.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, and I don't care. They can listen to my phone calls.
Yeah. All of you with eye patches, feel free to comment about Shawn Hollenbach right below.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, thumbs down.
One eye patch guy.
There's a lot of eye patchers on YouTube.